This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Max and Mia podcast.
Hi there. We're so glad you're here with us today. And if you're new to the show, welcome. We're Max and Mia, and we love helping you improve your English while talking about real, relatable topics.
Exactly. And speaking of improving your English, if you're enjoying our conversations, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep creating content for you.
Absolutely. Your support means the world to us. Plus, you'll never miss an episode when you subscribe.
All right, so today we're diving into something that affects every single one of us.
Relationships.
Whether it's with your partner, your best friend, your family, or even that colleague you can't seem to get along with. Relationships shape our lives in so many ways.
They really do. And here's our hook question for today. If someone asked you for relationship advice in English, could you help them?
That's actually trickier than it sounds, right? I mean, we all have opinions about relationships, but explaining them clearly in another language? That's a whole different challenge.
Exactly. And that's why today's episode is so important. Relationships are something we all deal with. Whether you're trying to figure out why your friend is being distant, navigating a breakup, or just wanting to understand your partner better.
And the thing is, these conversations happen all the time. You might be traveling, meeting new people, or even watching a show in English where characters are going through relationship drama. And suddenly you realize, do I actually know how to talk about this stuff?
Totally. Plus, relationship vocabulary is everywhere. Think about it. Songs, movies, social media posts. It's one of those topics that crosses all cultures. Everyone can relate to it.
Absolutely. And beyond just understanding the words, it's about expressing feelings, giving advice, and really connecting with people on a deeper level.
Which is what we're here for. So today, we're going to walk you through the essential vocabulary and phrases you need to talk about relationships confidently in English.
We've got a listening activity coming up where you'll hear two friends having a real conversation about relationship advice. But before we jump into that, we need to make sure you're familiar with some key vocabulary that'll pop up in the audio.
So let's get into it.
All right. First up, we have hit it off. This phrase means to immediately connect with someone or get along really well from the start.
Yeah, it's that instant chemistry you feel with someone. Here's an example. Sarah and I hit it off the moment we met at the conference. We talked for hours.
Nice. Okay, next one. Grew apart. This is when two people who were once close gradually become distant over time.
It's pretty common, actually. It doesn't mean there was a big fight or anything dramatic. People just drift away. For example, Jake and I grew apart after he moved to another city. We just stopped keeping in touch.
Exactly. Now, let's look at sort things out. This means to resolve problems or fix issues in a relationship through communication.
It's all about working through the tough stuff. For example, my sister and I had a huge argument, but we sat down and sorted things out over coffee.
Perfect. And finally, we have work things out, which is really similar to sort things out. It also means to resolve problems, but it can sometimes imply a longer process or more effort involved.
Right. Like when things are really complicated. Here's an example. They've been having issues for months, but they're committed to working things out instead of giving up.
Great. So those are your 4 key phrases. Keep them in mind as we listen to this conversation.
Hey, thanks for meeting me. I really needed to talk to someone about this whole situation with Chris.
Of course. What's going on? You guys seemed fine last week.
I know. It's just, I don't know. Things feel different lately. Like, we used to talk about everything, But now it's like we're just going through the motions.
Okay. So when did you start noticing this?
I'd say maybe 2 or 3 months ago. At first, I thought it was just because we were both busy with work, but I don't know. It feels like more than that now. We've kind of grown apart without me even realizing it was happening.
That's tough. Have you tried talking to him about it?
That's the thing. I don't even know how to bring it up. Like, what do I say? Hey, I feel like we're distant? It sounds so dramatic when I put it that way.
Well, yeah, but, if that's how you're feeling, then it's worth mentioning, right? You can't just ignore it and hope it goes away.
I guess you're right. It's just scary, What if he doesn't feel the same way? Or what if he does and we realize we can't fix it?
Listen, I get it, but here's the thing. If you don't try to sort things out, you'll never know. And honestly, from what you're telling me, it sounds like he might be feeling the same way.
You think so?
Yeah, it takes two people to grow apart, right? He's probably noticed the distance too. Maybe he's just as confused about how to address it.
Relationships are so complicated. Remember when we first started dating? We hit it off immediately. Everything was so easy back then.
That's always how it is at the beginning, though. Everyone's on their best behavior, everything's exciting and new, but real relationships, they take work.
True. So what should I do? Just sit him down and, have some big serious conversation?
It doesn't have to be this huge dramatic thing. Maybe just start with something casual, like, hey, I've been feeling a bit disconnected lately. Have you noticed that too? And then see where the conversation goes.
That actually sounds doable. Less intimidating,
Exactly. And look, the fact that you want to work things out instead of just walking away, that says a lot. It means you still care about the relationship.
I do care. I really do. I just don't want us to keep drifting further and further until we're basically strangers living in the same apartment.
Then don't let that happen. Communication is literally the key to everything. My parents always say that's how they've stayed together for 30 years. They never let problems just sit there and fester.
Your parents are relationship goals, honestly. How do they do it?
They argue sometimes, for sure, but they always make time to actually talk through their issues. They don't just sweep things under the rug.
That makes sense. I think Chris and I have been doing that a lot lately, just avoiding anything that might lead to conflict.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You think you're keeping the peace, but really you're just letting things build up until it explodes, or you just drift so far apart that there's nothing left.
God, that's depressing. Okay, so tonight, I'm going to talk to him tonight. No more putting it off.
Good. And honestly, it might not even be as bad as you think. Sometimes just opening up that line of communication can make a huge difference.
I hope you're right. What if he says he's been feeling the same way, though? Like, where do we even go from there?
Then you figure it out together. Maybe you need to spend more quality time together. Maybe you need to try new things as a couple, or maybe you just need to be more intentional about staying connected. There are options.
You're right. I'm probably overthinking this whole thing, aren't I?
A little bit, yeah. But that's what friends are for, to talk you down from the ledge and remind you that most problems have solutions if you're willing to put in the effort.
Thanks, Lucas. Seriously. I feel so much better after talking this through with you.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for. Now, go home and have that conversation. And text me later to let me know how it goes, okay?
Will do. Wish me luck.
You've got this.
All right, so what did you notice about that conversation?
Well, from a language perspective, there were some really useful structures in there. Did you catch how Emma used the present perfect to talk about her situation? She said, "We've kind of grew apart," though technically it should be grown as the past participle.
Good catch. That's a common mistake even native speakers make sometimes. But yeah, the present perfect is perfect for talking about situations that started in the past and continue to affect the present.
Exactly. And Lucas used some great conditional structures too. When he said, "If you don't try to sort things out, you'll never know." That's a first conditional, right? Real possibility in the future.
Right. And there were lots of modal verbs throughout. Might, should, can't, which are super important when you're giving advice or talking about possibilities. Like when Emma said, "What if he doesn't feel the same way?" She's expressing uncertainty.
And did you notice all the phrasal verbs? Bring it up, go through the motions, sweep things under the rug, put in the effort. These are crucial for sounding natural in English, especially at a B2 level and beyond.
Absolutely. Those phrasal verbs really make your English sound more fluent and less textbook-like.
Now, let's talk about something important here. The conversation we just heard was about romantic relationships. But honestly, these same issues come up in all kinds of relationships.
Oh, completely. Think about friendships, for instance. How many times have you grown apart from a friend because neither of you made the effort to stay in touch?
It happens all the time. Or with family. Sometimes we assume our parents or siblings will always be there, so we don't prioritize those relationships. We take them for granted.
And that's such a mistake. Because whether it's your best friend, your brother, your colleague, or your partner, communication is always the foundation. You have to express what you're feeling.
That's the key word, express. So many people bottle up their emotions, especially in certain cultures where talking about feelings isn't really encouraged. But keeping everything inside? That's toxic.
It really is. When you don't voice your concerns or your hurt, or even your appreciation, resentment builds up. And before you know it, you've got this wall between you and someone you care about.
And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to have that conversation. It's like the silence becomes this thing on its own, you know? It takes up space in the relationship.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Vulnerability is actually a strength, not a weakness. When you tell your friend, "Hey, I felt hurt when you didn't invite me to that party," or when you tell your mom, "I need you to respect my boundaries," you're being brave.
Absolutely. And most of the time, people respond better than you expect. Think about it. If your friend came to you and said, "I've been feeling like we're not as close as we used to be," would you be angry?
No, I'd probably be relieved that they brought it up, because chances are I've been feeling something similar.
Right. But if nobody ever says anything, both people just suffer in silence, and the relationship slowly dies. And that's true whether we're talking about your roommate, your coworker, or your sister.
And it's not just about problems either. We also need to express positive feelings. When was the last time you told your best friend how much they mean to you? Or thanked your parents for always being supportive?
That's such a good point. We get so caught up in only having the big talks when something's wrong, but expressing gratitude and love is just as important for keeping relationships healthy.
Totally. Every relationship needs maintenance, and that maintenance is communication. Check in with people. Ask them how they're really doing. Share what's on your mind. Don't let things fester.
Because at the end of the day, our relationships are what make life meaningful, right? Whether it's romantic, platonic, or familial, these connections are everything.
They really are. And speaking of maintaining those connections, we've got another listening activity for you. This one's about two friends reconnecting after a fight.
But before we get to that, let's go over some essential vocabulary you'll hear in the conversation.
First one, make up. This phrasal verb means to reconcile or become friends again after an argument or disagreement.
It's that moment when you put the conflict behind you and move forward. For example, I was so relieved when my best friend and I finally made up after our argument. I hated not talking to her.
Great. Next up, we have fall out. This means to have an argument or disagreement that damages a relationship, usually resulting in people stopping their friendship or contact.
Yeah, it's more serious than just a little disagreement. Here's an example. Tom and I fell out over money he borrowed and never paid back. We didn't speak for almost a year.
Ouch, that's tough. All right, number 3, hold a grudge. This expression means to stay angry or resentful towards someone for a long time because of something they did in the past.
It's when you just can't let it go, you know? For example, I don't want to hold a grudge against my cousin, but it's hard to forget how she treated me at the wedding.
Right. It's that lingering bitterness. And finally, we've got talk things through. This means to discuss a problem thoroughly and honestly until you reach understanding or resolution.
It's all about open, honest communication. For example, after our huge fight, we sat down and talked things through for hours. It really helped us understand each other's perspectives.
Exactly. So keep those 4 phrases in mind as you listen to this next conversation.
Hey, thanks for agreeing to meet. I wasn't sure if you'd even respond to my message.
Yeah, well, it's been, 6 months? I figured it was time we at least tried to talk.
6 months and 2 weeks, actually. Not that I've been counting or anything.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty angry for a long time. Like, really angry.
I know. And you had every right to be. What I said at your birthday party was... God, it was awful. I've replayed that night in my head 1,000 times.
It really hurts, Soph. In front of everyone, you basically told everyone I was irresponsible and couldn't keep a job. That's not something you say about your best friend.
I know. There's no excuse for it. I was going through my own stuff, the breakup with Mark, the stress at work. But that doesn't make it okay. I took it out on you, and that was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, part of me wanted to hold a grudge forever. Just write you off and move on.
I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. When you blocked me on everything, I thought that was it, that we were done.
Yeah, I needed space. I couldn't even look at my phone without getting angry all over again. My sister kept telling me I should at least hear you out, but I wasn't ready.
What changed? Why did you agree to meet now?
Honestly, I ran into your mom at the grocery store last week. She didn't say much, just asked how I was doing and mentioned that you'd been really struggling. And I don't know, it got me thinking.
My mom ran into you? She didn't tell me that.
She probably didn't want to get your hopes up. But anyway, it made me realize that maybe I was being too stubborn. We fell out over one stupid night, one moment where you weren't thinking straight.
It wasn't just one moment, though, Ryan. I need to own that. I'd been kind of passive-aggressive with you for weeks before that. Little comments here and there. The birthday thing was just when it all exploded.
Okay, yeah, I did notice that. I thought you were just stressed, so I didn't bring it up.
See, that's the problem. We've been friends since high school, and we still couldn't just talk things through like adults. I should have told you I was feeling overwhelmed instead of letting it build up.
And I should have asked what was wrong instead of ignoring it. So I guess we both messed up, huh?
Yeah, we did. But Ryan, I really am sorry. Truly, you're one of the most responsible people I know, and what I said was completely unfair. I was projecting all my own insecurities onto you.
I appreciate that. And look, I'm sorry too for just cutting you off completely. That was pretty harsh. I could have at least told you I needed time instead of just blocking you everywhere.
No, I get it. I probably would have done the same thing if someone embarrassed me like that.
So, where do we go from here? Do we just pretend the last 6 months didn't happen?
I don't think we can pretend, but maybe we can learn from it. Like, actually communicate when something's bothering us instead of letting it fester.
That sounds good. And maybe, I don't know, give each other the benefit of the doubt more often?
Definitely. God, I've missed this. I've missed you. Do you know how many times I've wanted to text you about something random and then remembered we weren't talking?
Same here. There were so many memes I wanted to send you. And remember when that coffee shop we loved closed down? I literally went there to tell you and then realized I couldn't.
Wait, Brewhaven closed? No! When did that happen?
Like 3 months ago. See? This is what happens when we fall out. We miss important stuff in each other's lives.
Oh, that's so sad. We had so many study sessions there in college.
I know. They left a note on the door saying they couldn't afford the rent anymore. The whole neighborhood was pretty upset about it.
Man, 6 months is a long time. What else have I missed?
Well, I actually got promoted at work last month. So, turns out I can keep a job after all.
Ryan, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean...
I'm kidding. Too soon?
Way too soon. But congratulations. Seriously, that's amazing. I knew you would.
Thanks. And what about you? How have you been, really?
Better now. Honestly, losing you as a friend was harder than the breakup with Mark. That's when I realized I needed to fix this, or at least try.
Well, I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad we're talking again.
Me too. So, are we good? Can we make up and actually move forward?
Yeah, I think we can. But Saf, if something's bothering you in the future, just tell me, okay? Don't let it build up like last time.
I promise. And same goes for you.
Deal. Now, can we please go get coffee somewhere? I need to catch you up on everything.
Yes, let's go. I've got so much to tell you too.
Wow, that was a pretty emotional conversation, wasn't it?
It really was. And linguistically, there were some great examples in there. Did you notice how both Sophia and Ryan used past perfect to talk about things that happened before other past events? Like when Sophia said, "I'd been kind of passive-aggressive with you for weeks before that."
Exactly. The past perfect helps us understand the sequence of events. She was being passive-aggressive first, and then the birthday incident happened. That's classic B2+ grammar right there.
And they used a lot of reported speech, too. Ryan mentioned, "My sister kept telling me I should at least hear you out." That's indirect speech, which is super useful when you're recounting what others have said.
Right. And there were some great conditional sentences as well. Sophia said, "I wouldn't have blamed you if you did." That's a mixed conditional, combining past and present. It shows hypothetical situations and their consequences.
Also, notice how they both used could have and should have, modal verbs in the past, to express regret or missed opportunities. I could have at least told you I needed time. That's talking about possibilities that didn't happen.
Those modals of deduction and speculation are crucial for sounding natural when you're reflecting on the past or discussing what might have been different.
Now, Let's talk about what really stood out to me in that conversation. Pride. Pride can absolutely destroy relationships.
Oh, completely. Both of them were hurting, but it took 6 months for them to actually sit down and talk because neither wanted to be the first to reach out.
And that happens so often, doesn't it? Whether it's with friends, siblings, parents, we let our ego get in the way of reconciliation. We think, well, they hurt me, so they should apologize first.
But here's the thing. If both people are thinking that way, nobody reaches out, and the relationship just ends over something that could have been resolved with one honest conversation.
Exactly. And what I loved about Sophia and Ryan's conversation is that they both took accountability. They didn't just blame each other. They acknowledged their own mistakes.
That's maturity right there. Admitting when you're wrong, apologizing sincerely, and being willing to listen, those are the skills that keep relationships alive.
And it's not just about romantic relationships or friendships. Think about family conflicts that go on for years because nobody wants to be the one to break the silence. Holidays get awkward, people miss important life events, all because of pride.
So, if you're listening to this and you're thinking of someone you've fallen out with, maybe take this as a sign. Reach out. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Just a simple, "Hey, can we talk?" might be all it takes.
Because life's too short to hold grudges, and the people we care about are too valuable to lose over misunderstandings or hurt feelings that can be repaired.
Well said. All right, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's episode about relationships.
We hope you learned some useful vocabulary and phrases that'll help you navigate these conversations in English. Remember, whether you're giving advice, working through conflict, or just expressing how you feel, communication is key.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us keep creating content for you, and it means the world to us.
And don't forget to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever reconnected with someone after a falling out? What's the best relationship advice you've ever received? Let us know down below.
We read all of your comments, and honestly, they inspire so many of our episodes. So thank you for being part of this community.
Until next time, focus on improving your English, nurture your relationships, and remember, it's okay to be vulnerable.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.